Morning, guys. A little after 3 in the morning. Same time, trying to see what the hell's going on in the news. Nationally, I've seen too much of the cases totally around the world, and not to mention cases in the United States still going up. So it's just as bad as watching something like deficit board to have in New York showing how bad our deficit gone. It's almost just as bad as watching the damn totals every day going up. And I have to make remarks, okay? Now I am. Weaver John C., Roseman, California. Do the official here. It's December 4th. Is it the 5th? It's the 5th. Wow. Wasn't exact time. 5th of December. Coming close to the end, isn't it? We've got everything else happening these days. What's wrong with a little memory loss? It's early in the morning and I'm not exactly feeling my best. No, it's a sleep situation because of everything else piling on top of everything else. It's hard sometimes to talk about situations like this. Out here in Antelope Valley yesterday, give you a little bit of an example. Lancaster on Beach Street somewhere. There was a gas leak called in. Naturally, we had the sheriff's department called on this one. Wait a quick second. Yes, I know. But necessary for the pause, nothing dramatic, but just never leave anywhere without your trusty cane. Crutch to hold someone up. A reminder of things that are happening. And not just in the world of the 2020 or the COVID, but of your own condition, regardless of physical or mental health. So imagine when there's a gas leak called. Naturally, you have the gas company coming out. But if there's going to be a massive gas leak, then you call out law enforcement for evacuations and the fire department to check on things. What they were discovering is 2 dead bodies, 2 dead teenagers, or actually preteens. One of them was decapitated. I can't go into the gruesome details because it was too damn gruesome. Some were in investigation during that day. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department investigated a man and a woman and arrested a man. The man turns out to be the kid's father. We have a news crew out here, a local news crew that chases stories left and right whenever they can. And they do it online, daytime and nighttime. Just to let the public know what's going on Facebook. Way of network broadcasting. Even they couldn't believe it, what was going on. They found the information out earlier that evening, and the guy was practically near crying in his mask. This is the same gentleman who, about a few weeks back, Thanksgiving, or shortly before Thanksgiving, he was having issues regarding suicide rates going up, including a bit of a rally he attended in Lancaster of a teenager who decided to off herself, a 14-year-old. And it got to him where he wants to do a public service announcement. It's a great deal. Because he didn't like the suicide rate as well. during the winter time, the suicide rates and the nut rates, I guess I would call them, increase. Some of the scientists would say during the winter time, because we get less sunlight, it affects us very less. It affects us more because we don't get enough sunlight. We're not getting enough vitamins out of the rays to maintain our health, physical and mental health. During summertime, you don't see as much suicides, but they are there. Much the same would be in the spring and the fall time. But the winter time is usually when the rates are going up. I keep noticing, and I want to keep hearing the local news throughout the years. I'll say it before and I'll say it again as a disclaimer in a lot of my videos. I can't believe I did a hell of a lot of videos. I'm like, over 500. What the hell is going on with me these days? Well, I'll tell you something. The change that's happening this year has put me into a warpath where I'm dumping a hell of a lot of my personal stories, my anecdotes, my experiences, my opinions out there. And I'll say it before and I'll say it again. I am no expert. 1 second. Well, I didn't want to be gross on the television. I didn't want to be gross on the computer screen either. But I'm no damn expert, okay? I've lived. I mean, I've done a lot of things that everybody has done for being thrill seekers. But I've experienced a few things that terrified the living crap out of me, and I talk about them. I've seen, I've heard, I've read, I've experienced. That's what I talk about. No PhDs, except I'm chasing an AA. And no, I'm not chasing alcohol. Nah, you can keep that stuff. I like sobriety better. But dealing out there, seeing what's been going on. Maybe the COVID has struck nerves in us that we can't understand. But I think it has. Our society has evolved to where we're dependent upon each other. We're codependent on each other for our existence, for our businesses, for our lives. We have become so interdependent upon each other that if anything happens in one particular sector, it affects everybody across the board. This damn bug has been, this COVID-19, has been treated as if it was a flu bug previously. And people had dealt with the stigma that this is just another flu bug that we're dealing with. We're always dealing with flu bugs during the winter time. The sentiment is there. Sorry. I got a neighbor outside seems to be yelling his head off. Hold on a second. Apologies for that. When you have neighbors in an apartment complex that seem to be going a little half-cocked, probably proves the theory anyway. We've had flus that that has influenced us. We have had flus that has crippled us a bit, but we managed to roll on. We had vaccinations for it. We've had things to take care of, and everyone else just lives it normally as they can. For those who are seriously ill with a bug, and now it's getting serious outside. So much for my thoughts. When one person is trying to do recordings at this point, one is subject to the whims of everything else around. I do not live or work in a damn bat cave, or I can actually have good acoustics and outside world is not there. Sorry. You do things in an apartment complex. You got paper-thin walls sometimes, and neighbors at 3 o'clock in the morning like to drive you crazy. And this is not due to COVID, but this is probably due to other things happening. This is real life. COVID, unfortunately, had changed a hell of a lot of things. As I said before, people keep assuming this is just regular flu at this point over here. Well, we may have thought this was regular flu, but when we get people dying left and right, and misconceptions happening at this point over here, not to mention politics happening, and then misinformation popping up left and right throughout the months, it's kind of easy enough to try to figure out which is fact, which is fiction, and the confusion why people are having this issue of grasping onto it. It gets to a point where we have health officials, first time in our lives, telling us we have to have these things with us at all times. Sleep with them if we have to. That masks like this were supposed to help us regarding an epidemic or a pandemic at this point. Naturally, it's an assumption that we all make that this damn COVID is a pussycat, if we're going to be using an animal term here. But if this is the case, I have a question for all those people out there, okay? Here's my question. If people think that this is so easy to go through, why aren't we hearing any reactions at all? Why are we not having enough group activity out there from those who've claimed they've survived this damn thing, gather around in groups, and saying this is survivable, this is survivable? Where the hell are they? No, what we're hearing from is healthcare professionals at this point over here, healthcare officials, and not to mention some of those who have actually survived this damn thing, are telling us this bug is no piece of cake. They've actually taken lives. They've actually taken family members, friends, complete strangers. They've jammed up hospitals. They've jammed up emergency rooms, ICUs. If this is supposed to be some kind of massive flu bug, and you have people surviving, where the hell are all those damn testimonies? Where's the parades? Where's the marches? Where's the outrage? Where are you idiots? Where are you people who said that this is survivable at this point over here? Where's the reaction? What's out here? Snoring. Constant snoring. Every once in a while I keep seeing people on there saying, well, this is survivable. I survived it. I survived it. Good for you. Where's your rest of the following? Because right now, what I'm seeing and what we're experiencing right now is more and more confusion at this point. See, we're hearing more and more from the healthcare professionals. We're hearing more and more from the officials out there in the news media. The argument at this point is they're all fake. They don't know what they're saying. They don't know what they're doing at this point over here. Everyone's got so mixed up in communications at this point over here. We're not sure what to believe anymore. So therefore, we're going to take our lives in our own manner. And yet, we got people dying left and right. Aha. The rub. The major rub on this one. Taking lives into our own hands. Fine. We're going to treat this like a regular bug. Fine. My question. Another one here. If that's the case, then why are the numbers increasing? Why are we being shut down left and right? Why are we losing our businesses that have been out there for years, for decades? Being closed permanently. Because of economic survival. Why are we not doing the things necessary to contain this bug? What is it about your own personal freedoms and your own personal ideas that have to be so damn headstrong that you have to be part of the movement that threatens everybody. The common good is not the common good anymore. It has to be the individual good, because that's how we're demonstrating it right now. They're all across the country. They're all across our state of California. They're all across each county and city and town. We're doing that. We don't believe what the government's telling us. We don't believe what the social media is telling us. We don't believe anything. Okay, fine. We don't believe. We're skeptical. So my question is, again, where's the outrage? I'm seeing the outrage of people who are trying to comply getting shut down left and right. I'm seeing all the extravagant measures that we've forced businesses to do in order to contain a bug shutting down because they can't afford to lose any more money, and they're losing their businesses left and right, and those businesses feed people. Services that we depended upon for years shut down. It's going to be hard as hell for them to get businesses back in operation again. We can't collect taxes, we can't collect money from those businesses if there's no customers. And if there are no customers, the businesses are out of luck, and so is the government, and so are we. Business 101, supply and demand. You cut off supply, and you choke off the demand. There goes your business, there goes your economy, and there goes your life right there. We as human beings have been depending upon each other for mere survival, especially when we gather in groups, because everyone else makes their own niche, their own little area that is supposed to be beneficial and life-supporting for other groups of people who depend upon that. And we build upon networks like that until we've got this huge thing working where our economy is dependent upon each other trading services, trading for services, trading money to increase services, to increase personnel to do the services because we have a demand. And we're trying to build up the more supply to deal with the increasing demand. And when the demand is so damn tight, it is so damn large, and supply is very minuscule, no wonder we're going to be having a collapse of economy at this point over here. Well, we're dependent upon so much of our infrastructure, of our businesses, on those mom and pops out there. We are squeezing them. We are choking them. It's not corporations doing this damn thing. We are doing this to them. I'm not talking about me specifically. I'm also talking about you. And everybody else watches it. Anybody else who is going through this whole damn thing. In the state of California, we are killing ourselves. And we're blaming Gavin Newsom for this. Gavin Newsom is the governor of California. He's a protege of Jerry Brown, who left office a long time ago. So yes, he is a lifelong Democrat. He is a dreamer, just like Jerry Brown. The problem is he's dealing with a COVID nightmare that he doesn't have a way of trying to cope with. He's listening to all the science, and some people call it bullshit, but it may be not bullshit because it's numbers, it's facts, it's figures. His lives being reflected in digits that are being tossed around like they're just nothing to a lot of people. But they're something to people. A family who loses an entire generation due to a damn pandemic. You hear about stories like this, but it goes in one ear out the other ear because it's so damn much. We have tried to compare this to the pandemic of the 1900s, of the early 1900s, back in World War I era. We have tried to compare what they've been doing then to now. We're failing miserably. We're failing miserably. There's no way to put it past. There's no way to say it. We have screwed ourselves up. We are not accepting responsibility for what's going on. We're not accepting responsibility for how we're dealing and how we're treating this damn thing. I'm not saying this as an official representative of the state of affairs, of the state of the government, of the state, whatever the hell the damn state is you think it is. I'm saying it because I'm seeing all the damn action happening at this point over here. I'm hearing all the people bellyaching about the damn thing at this point over here. But what I don't see is if they're going to be bellyaching about the damn thing, where's the moral outrage? Where's the pitchforks? Where's the torches going after Dr. Frankenstein, who's created this damn monster? Where's the musical theme of the monster movies as people are panicking throughout the streets of the hamlets, chasing after the people? Well, I'll tell you something. What they're doing is exactly the same damn thing, except without the pitchforks and the light and the torches. They're going after our elected officials. The elected officials are trying to do their jobs. One of them, we have a county doctor. We've also got a city doctor in the city of Los Angeles, in the county of Los Angeles. I'm in a county that's next door. I don't hear what's happening in Kern. But then again, I'm not keeping my ear in Kern. I'm keeping my ear next door, seeing what's going on with my neighbors, which is county of Los Angeles. And I've got officials in Los Angeles who are getting their asses terrified by groups of people whose businesses are getting affected. What I don't see is a mob scene going out there with people who survived the COVID marching up and down with signs and posters and banners and saying, "I survived, this is all bullshit." Nothing. Even they would have a legal right to protest. They would have the legal right to talk to people about this. They would have a legal right to say stuff like this. But they're saying that they're being jammed up on social media because it's all fake. And that social media is jamming them up. Well, that may be. They still need to fight to get their message across, don't they? They need to find out how they can get an organized rally going on and have news conferences and telling people left and right that, hey, we have an important story at this point over here. We believe that this virus is not happening. I'm hearing crickets. What I am seeing is reactions to our businesses being shut down, which we do need to have going. If we could do the guidelines to keep it up, that's fine. But what's the driving force is the hospital bed space and the ICUs, and not to mention having enough room in the hospitals to take care of both regular emergency needs and the COVID. Every hospital is being affected. Urgent care clinics are seemingly going nuts at this point. Look at the news stories. Talk to the people about the urgent cares. Some of them I know are probably saying, well, this is all a misunderstanding. Major misunderstanding. This is a conspiracy. This isn't a regular flu. Well, do they have any evidence? There was a group of doctors out in Kern running an urgent care. And through their own analysis, which wasn't supported by the medical community, keep that in mind, supported by the medical community, their own analysis in this urgent care business, which they were owners and operators, are telling people this is nothing to worry about. And they were doing this thing several months ago. Several months ago, we were still trying to get more and more data from this damn bug. Several months ago, we didn't pass the million mark. How many cases we've got across the country. or hundreds of thousands of deaths being recorded, let alone that happening in the state of California. But according to their own data from how many people have got in there and they do an extrapolations, they didn't think it was necessary. The hospitals, the medical staffs for different places, the scientists involved, all jumped on their ass. We haven't heard from us. We haven't heard from them again. But we hear the conspiracies going on. And I'm hearing the grumblings on social media about this. I'm hearing people griping and grumbling about this constantly. They're saying that social media is telling people you can't post this because this is fake. There is controversy in this. There is major controversy in this. Because now you got the people trying to use social media, being limited by social media, because social media is trying to do whatever they can to A, keep the profit margins going on, but B, keep the news going. And some people keep thinking that the news on social media is being faked. The major companies out there that we deal with on a constant basis are having issues regarding this situation. These companies we deal with for our own purposes of publishing our own stuff, and not to mention sharing news, they give us a semblance of freedom, a semblance of a First Amendment freedom here to do so, depending on the regions and other things. But they have their own terms and conditions, their own guidelines that people have to follow. You want to use the social media to build up a platform, you have to follow these guys. You have to follow what's going on. If you can't follow what's going on, then you can't use them. But they'll only allow you to go so far. People say it's un-American. You can't do that. No, it's a business. They can do that. And they are doing it. Only thing is they're trying to go with trending right now as it is. If the information right now they're being presented is trending enough to where this is reality and this isn't, people are having a hard time trying to decipher which is reality and which is fantasy at this point over here, unless they start to talk personally to those who have suffered under this damn bug. And once they talk to those people who have suffered under the damn bug, maybe to get an idea what the hell's going on. And some of them actually start saying, yes, this bug is actually legitimate. This bug is real. We've got people dying all over. We have relatives dying all over the place. We have personally survived this damn bug. This bug is nasty. For some people who have a strong biological defense system, they are still weakened by it. They are weakened by it. News stories are talking about this thing constantly on this. Not to mention other people's testimonies about it. Some people say, well, I feel great right afterwards. Well, you may have had a constitution that was able to deal with it, but they're still compromised because you're still open season to the damn bug. And it's being proven at this point by scientific data and scientific facts that apparently in this day and age is being treated like the witch trials. Scientific data is all witchcraft. Maybe we're getting to the point where we're going to be starting to do the Salem witch trials all over again. Only this time we're going to be holding everybody who's accountable, who survived this damn bug, or barely surviving the bug. We're going to burn them in social media blitz. We're going to use our own words against them, or using their words against them. We've got the end of this year coming up, about 20 some odd days. But this is going to be carried over until next year and then the year after that. I think, I feel. Now, all these things I'm talking about, that's coming from me, it's my own damn opinion, all right? This is my own opinion. What I'm seeing, what I'm observing at this point over here, what I'm reporting back. It's my own damn opinion, not yours, mine. As I said before, I'm no damn expert at anything. But I have seen, I have learned, I have read. I'm not happy. Ignorance isn't bliss. Ignorance is deadly. But I know somewhere in Shakespeare would probably say there's a line in there. He who increases knowledge increases sorrow. And I think somewhere, either Shakespeare said it or somewhere in the Bible it said it. But if that's the case, we all be living in a hell of a lot of sorrow now, aren't we? We are people of constant sorrow, to paraphrase a song out there. I always did like that song, Man of Constant Sorrow. He's done a lot of bad things, but he's hoping that one day people will listen to him and hope they won't be able to do the same mistake he did. And he'll probably see them in the afterlife. Right now, we've got too many people meeting each other in the afterlife. I guess we're driving St. Peter crazy upstairs. Just to this, for this guy, I'm not ready to meet St. Peter just yet. Not just yet. I still got a lot more living to do.